What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another tool review. Been doing a few of these recently, not so many build videos. You've already seen from the thumbnail, then you know what we're doing here today, but this is more of a first impression unboxing type video, although it's already unboxed and been used, so yeah. Let's get to it, huh? There it is. So, let me get this out of the way here. And if, actually, hold please. All right, there she is. Sorry, I changed my mic around. I lost my mic a while ago. Yeah, you don't actually care. So this is the Bosch GEX18V-5. GEX? GEX. 18V, obviously 18 volt dash 5, 5-inch orbital sander. Weird how that works, right? So, first things first, it's very small, very compact. Actually, hold on. I can't really do a comparison video without having something to compare it to. So, again, wood out the way. Jeez. Put the GoPro down. We'll do some of these things here. And, all right. So, here's what we have. This is the DeWalt 20 volt sander, orbital sander. This is a good sander. It's pretty much, I think, pretty much the best one you could buy up until this point. I don't know. We'll find out, right? So you can tell here how much smaller and more compact that Bosch is. Like, it's crazy how small and compact that is. It really is. I mean, looking from the top side here, got a big wide handhold on the DeWalt, and a nice small one on the Bosch. You know, my whole palm covers that, and here it's bigger than my palm. So there's that. There's also one thing that I really like here, and I'm going to point this out, is this has got a 5 amp hour battery on it. You can kind of see it's a little she a little butt heavy on the back end, right? This Bosch with the 4.0 sits pretty good, real nice and balanced. Throw a bigger battery on there, obviously that's going to change that. Same thing with this one, just kind of trying to use comparable sized batteries. I do not have a slim 4.0 for the DeWalt, so there's that. Anyways, they're both random orbital, both go to like 6,000 RPM, both variable speed, both have an on-off switch, both have dust collection, although DeWalt's got their little, what do they call that thing, that air switch, some doodad. But you know, it is what it is. This is a good sander. I always like using it, but we're not here to talk about that guy. We're here to talk about this guy. So, as you can see, again, small, compact. Even like this area is very small. It actually kind of amazes me how small this is. It's like, you think being this small of a motor, it might not be that powerful. The little bit I've used it, and I'll show you guys that in a minute, is actually very nice and powerful. It's got plenty of power. I have some 80 grit right here that I'm going to use on some pine, and I'll dig into it. I'll show you this. It's going to keep on going, which is awesome. I don't have 36, so don't ask. But the bottom, you got 8 holes for all your dust collection. You can see all the veins in there. Maybe, can you see the veins in there? Yeah, a little bit on the left side there, a little bit of veining, right? Helping to get all that dust going towards the dust port. This is very simple, click on and click off in a way. So there's not actually a lock. Like, you can kind of just give it a little wiggle and it comes free. There's this little indentation right here. I don't know what that does. There's no like real grooves on this. This is kind of smooth all the way through. Kind of, I mean, there's not much, but so that can just stick on there like that. And if you want to empty it, this whole thing spins on, spins off. That's pretty nice. Now, here's the real sweet part. That pops off, right? And you're like, oh God, I gotta buy another adapter. No, that is 35 mil. Look at that. Look at that. No fancy adapter, no fancy port switch needed to lock stuff on. They just made it the right size from the beginning. It's like, why don't most people do that? Like, now that we've kind of gotten the universal standard of 35 millimeters or whatever it exactly it is, Can we just all do that now? Can all the tool companies just agree? That's the standard, like for small tools. And for big tools, obviously you can just put a 2.5 inch or 2 inch vacuum on it, and that's fine. You don't need the adapters. But these small ones, come on, this is what everybody needs to do. Got the little ribs on there where it grabs everything just fine. So this is an adapter from my Metabo extractor. I also use the adapter from my DeWalt FlexFold extractor, not the air switch. Hold the DeWalt airport air switch adapter, same deal. Clicks right on there, just fine. It's awesome. This has got to be the new standard, people. And by people, I mean tool companies. So there's that. It's really nice. Obviously, it's I shouldn't say obviously. It's a hook and loop random orbital here. So I'm a huge fan of Diablo SandNet, Mirka, Abranet, whatever you want to, this net style. So you get these hook and loop pads. Pretty easy to line everything up with the holes, except for when I'm on camera doing it. It's about there. And with this SandNet adapter, even though you get 4 big holes, these little holes kind of get close to the adapter or the ports in it, so it works pretty good. So let's get to using, shall we? So here's some 2x4 that was spray painted black for another project I was working on, and we'll just use that as our test piece. This is the 80 grit Diablo SandNet that's on there. See, 80. One thing I really like too is this pad has actually got quite a bit of firmness to it, whereas it feels like the DeWalt is actually less firm. It has a little bit more give to it in the whole pad area. The little bit I've used this thing so far, it's very solid feeling all the way through. Like, it really feels you can get a nice flat push on it and go from there. So hopefully the table doesn't bounce around too much. It's just a piece of 1/2 inch plywood. Sorry for that. It'll turn on hyper smooth. Hyper smooth. It's already on. So you can hear the noise. You can hear the noise compared to the DeWalt. I don't know what. I'll just use the same paper on the DeWalt, and then we'll be good to go there. So you can hear the noises and see the effect on it. With 80 grit, we'll do the sound and use comparison against the DeWalt here. And hopefully the table doesn't bounce too much because it's just a piece of 1/2 inch. I should note that included in there is a thing of Bosch 120. Like I said, I like using SandNet, so that's, I'm not going to use it. I will use this stuff. All right, here we go. As hard as I can, and it's not stalling out. That's pretty impressive. It's pretty quiet. You can hear me talking over it. Not very loud at all. Go right on to the fresh hard spray paint. So pretty good actually. I really like the sound. It's very smooth. It doesn't vibrate too much. Doesn't jump around too much. It's got a pretty good brake on it. Where I know the Milwaukee, the M18, that thing would just spin forever, and you'd have to basically sacrifice your finger to turn it, to stop it, or sacrifice, a piece of wood to turn it off. So that stops in there real nice and easy. So now, just for comparison, we'll do the DeWalt. All right, so different piece of plywood, or not plywood, 2x4. You see that's the one I just sanded. Here is the DeWalt with the same 80 grit paper on it in fastest speed setting. This is a nice feature on the DeWalt for sure, that speed setting right there on the Bosch. It's kind of tucked around the corner, which is nice. You can't really accidentally hit it, but you do have to physically move your hand over and turn it off. So now DeWalt. it's a sander. You know, it makes things, but just for sound comparison again, so much quieter, that Bosch. So much quieter. What I really like about it, again, is it's very nice, very controlled. It still does a very good job of remaining controlled. So let's get some hardwood in this situation and see how it does with finish work. All right, so I got a piece of maple here, some 180 grit, just trying to soften this up and get rid of some of this stain here. Just as a make-believe, the piece has already been stained, but I don't need to, well, we could pretend to get rid of that, but we need something bigger grit for now. We'll just do the rough side like we're prepping it for some finish work. So nice and prepped, nice and smooth. You see I pushed into it pretty good that time. Yeah, I mean, for what this thing is, I really like it. Granted, it's only been about 15 minutes worth of total usage, 10 minutes before I started shooting this video. How long is this video now? That timer right there will tell you. But it's a nice little sander, for sure. I mean, does a dust collection get everything? No. Does dust collection always get everything? No. But it works. It's 129 bucks at Lowe's right now. Some Lowe's have them, some don't. Some will sell them to you, some won't, from what I heard. I don't have the 12-volt version. Don't ask me, I'm not gonna get it. I don't need it because I have this one and I have the DeWalt. Where now I have basically two orbital sanders that I can use for two different tasks. And I really think that the DeWalt's gonna be more of my rough finish work. Rough finish? Yeah, you know what I mean, rough finish. And this is going to become kind of that detailed, kind of flat material type thing, because it's a really nice pad, very smooth to operate, maybe for the more tighter areas. Does that make sense? You know, somebody's got to make like a little mini detail sander. But yeah. So overall, I'm actually pretty happy with this thing. Circle back down the road with a follow-up review on this thing. The Bosch GEX18V-5. Not a bad little dude, if I do say so myself. So, yeah. Oh, hey, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. You know, let me know what you like. If you like my review style, if you like my talking points, you know, do the things, help me out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna do definitely more tool review videos, more initial responses. I did one a week or so ago about the Metabo HPT router, which is a fantastic little router. And I got some more stuff on the way, so stay tuned, guys. Thank you.